Good morning, children of God.
Good morning. Good morning, Ron.
That's how we got to church this morning, right? Smoke be gone, or something like that. Which is fine, because then we can go here. God is as universal and as personal as breathing. You can't breathe for somebody else. Nor can you express the truth of who you are or have somebody else tell you how to do it. They can show you how. But you get to choose what that looks like. That's what we're going to be talking about a little more today. But what we're going to start with is stand, join together in the silence.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light that you find, that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
In this moment, love is here. Peace is here. Truth is here. And as we breathe, we acknowledge the presence. God is here. O loving Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence moving in and through us this day. We affirm, regardless of appearance, I am there. God is there. Good is there. This day, we choose to be open to that truth. We choose to be responsive to His presence. We choose to be grateful. This day, we come together to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the living Christ. Amen.
Amen. This is the time for the reading of our daily word, and this morning Christina will read our daily word for us.
I am rich in friends. A friend is a precious gift. We laugh and cry with friends. We support them, love them, and share their joy. They do the same for us. Whether I am wishing for a friend or cherishing the ones I have, I give thanks for all I receive in friendship. Being a good friend is one of the greatest gifts I can give. Today I express the qualities I most appreciate in a friend. This may include humor, attention, listening, or an adventurous spirit. I watch with curiosity how others respond to my friendliness, and my day is filled with joy. Ultimately, my greatest friend is spirit within me. As I allow love to express through me, new friends enter my life and old friends deepen. I am rich in friends. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people.
I think one of the things that fascinates me is that we often change wording on things on purpose to remind you that what you may be holding as a picture might need to be altered just a little bit. So how many of you caught in the song that on one verse it was he, and on the second verse it was she? Because God has no gender, God just is, yes? God just is. You and I are out picturing of that one. And the more we know who we are and how we behave, the more we get in touch with the truth of us and express it in our world, the better our world becomes. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's join with Steve, I believe. I believe. Lord, I trust. I have faith. I breathe. And with each breath now, gently and easily, I move to that place within that Jesus called our inner closet, our secret place. It is that place within you where there is no question, there is no doubt. I believe. There is no question, there is no doubt. I trust. There is no question. I have faith. And following his instructions, this day as I enter in, I close the door. I close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. I close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I have yet to do this day. And for one holy moment, I rest. And as I rest, I listen. For in my prayers, I have learned to ask. Here in the stillness, in the silence, answers come. This day, perhaps a word, order, harmony, peace, love. perhaps in the song, perhaps in a feeling of oneness. Regardless of how it comes to you this day, know that these gifts come wrapped in love. In this moment, all my needs are met. This day, I choose to say yes. And I reach out and claim these gifts which have been freely given, knowing they come to me in love. I immerse myself in them, from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. Each and every cell of my being responds. I am blessed. Knowing my needs are met, I remember I'm a channel through which good flows into my world. This day, I open that channel wide. From me, through me, good flows. First to this place, to this now. Touching, blessing, healing each and every one of God's children. Growing in strength and in power. Thought of like mind coming together. Moving, touching, healing. In this moment, I am joyful. I am grateful. That gratitude swells up. The flow continues from this place into our community, wherever that might be this day. Touching, healing, blessing. Across our city. Touching, healing, blessing. In this moment, I am blessed. I breathe. I choose to continue to be a blessing from me, through me. Across our city, across our state. From me, through me, flows this goodness. And on this day, we affirm for our brothers who are in conflict, regardless of appearance, I am there. God is there. And in this knowing, I am blessed. I choose to continue to be a blessing from me, through me, across our state, across our country, around our world. Touching, healing, blessing each and every one of God's children, whether they know it or not. Across our universe. And knowing that in spirit and in truth, we are never separate one from the other. We know that somewhere, somewhen, someone is saying thank you, thank you, thank you for the gifts that have come from you, through you, are gratefully received. And that gratitude swells up and returns to you, the circle of life, whole and complete. This day I breathe this, I rest in it for one holy moment. Knowing there's more yet for me to do this day, holding to this experience we have shared, gently now and easily I bring my attention back to this place, to this now, and I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." I could sit and be still for another few minutes. But instead, I'll just be still for another few minutes. One of the things I've learned over the years is to just be open. To say, on this day, I am here. Father, use me, guide me, direct me. Remind me of how good I really am. And he sent all of you, yay! And Steve. And vice versa. The fact that you are here says a lot about who you are as well. This day I choose to be open. I don't know what my world's going to bring for sure, but I know this. No matter where I am, God is. And all is well. Sometimes it doesn't look like that. And so, we take a look at our world and say, where can I make a change in thinking that will bring about a change in my world? Because we know that our world begins in thought and feelings. With the power of our word and our actions, we then bring it into expression. That's the 4 steps. Okay? So if I'm not happy with what's going on here, I get to change my thinking about it. I get to change my mind, is what it comes down to. And in that change comes fun stuff. This is fun stuff. What can I tell you? Part of our job, if you will, part of this work that we do was brought to us a long time ago. Guidance and direction came a long time ago. This study that we call metaphysics, these teachings of Jesus, could really be called practicing the presence. Practicing the presence, the omnipresence, always present God. That's what Jesus did, and he said so. And it's like everything else, we take stuff out of context from time to time, and we forget that all the parts work together. But he was really clear for me, it is not I, but the Father who does the work. See, he recognized that presence of God working in and through him. It's why he went apart and prayed so often. Because we're a mess. Kind of. Under the generations, we believe stuff that isn't true. We just do, and it's okay. It's part of our growth. And Jesus went apart. And I laugh every time I think about that because I'm still working with that. I have the tendency, he said, raising his hand and quietly repeating, so don't pay any attention, that from time to time, I rush to judgment. You guys don't do that, but I do. And I had somebody say to me on the phone, I can hear you're getting frustrated with me because I'm not practicing what you tell me to do. I went, thank you so much. I'll work on that, okay? Because if you look at the work that Jesus did, he had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get really frustrated because he was teaching all the time, he was right there. And a lot of people didn't get it. They didn't get it then, and they don't get it yet today. We're still working on it. We don't understand a lot of it. And so we're beginning to look a little bit more in depth and saying, okay, what's this all about? What it's all about is he studied and gave us a path to practice the presence of God in our life at each and every moment. What does that look like? Well, we know that what? God is all. All. Omnipresent. This one that is all is perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. Man is, therefore I am, and you are one with this perfect expression of life, love, intelligence, and substance. You're one with it. So what we're learning how to do is what? Express it. How to bring it into demonstration, into manifestation in our world. And we do it one thought at a time. I'm going to invite you to join with me in a program where we're going to change our world. Anybody join? Good. For those who can't see on camera, nobody raised their hand. Yeah, but they raised it inside. Okay. It's a languaging thing. Okay? And it's just simple. But one of the things that we say about our world, and we sing it every week, let there be peace in the world. However, we want to fight a lot of stuff, yes? We want to fight this and fight that and fight the other. And as a matter of fact, we have in California right now, there's 9,000 folks who came from around the country to help with the wildfires in California, and we call them fire fighters. Oh. I don't want them to fight the fire, I want them to put it out. Now, on the surface, we're saying, come on, Rob, give me a break. I said that when I said it this morning. I looked in my mirror and said, you're kidding. You're going to say that today in church, aren't you? I went, yeah, I am. Because I'm really starting to look what I want them to extinguish the fire. I got that. But I don't think they need to fight. I think they just need to do what they know how to do. And that puts the flame out. See, when I went to, I've never told you this story before. I was a firefighter. That's not what I was called in the day. We were called fire marshals. Because when I was growing up, my folks were into auto racing a lot. We worked on the courses. There were flaggers on the courses and radio personnel and firemen on every course and every corner. Because, you know, cars blow up and burn. And at the ripe old age of 14, they didn't know I was 14. I went to the school and learned how to extinguish fires, not fight. Extinguish fires. And at 14, I got pretty good at it. Okay? Now, there were drivers who weren't always real happy with me. One recollection was a driver who came into the corner where his car was literally on fire. And for those of you who are auto people, he had a 6-stack, which means he had 6 carburetor stacks up out of the car. There were just a real rocket of a car, and it was on fire. And I did exactly what I was trained to do. I hit it low first. That's the stuff that was dripping on the ground. And then I took that extinguisher and went whoop, 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 whoop. And his engine was still on. He was not a happy camper. But the fire was out. All right? I did my job. That's when somebody said, and how old is he? And my mother turned to my dad, 14. So they did me a horribly good favor. Well, we can't have him on the course at 14, so we'll put him in the pits, which is where they stage all the cars. And so drivers from around the world had the opportunity to say to Rob, would you take my whatever car it is down to the fuel truck and fill it up and bring it back? I got to tell you that a Mercedes Gullwing is a fun little car to drive. Even in the pits. But the experience wasn't a struggle or a fight, it just was an experience. This was something that needed to be done. I needed to prepare, and so I was ready to do what I need to do. Okay? I bring you that whole story to get back to firefighters. This does not take away the honor of what they do in any shape or form. But in my world, Rob's world, I'm working on eliminating that fight piece, the struggle. Now, if you want to struggle, feel free to do so. God will love you anyway. But you get to choose not to. But in order to lessen the struggle, I need to change my languaging a little bit. And it's an everyday language, and it's stuff that comes into you all the time. Like I say, firefighters. No, I'm getting rid of that one. I just want firemen and women, ladies, who will extinguish the fire. They did their job well. No fight. No battle. Just did their job well, what they were trained to do well. What they have a passion for, many of them have a passion for. To be of service. And see, a lot of people don't look at it that way, but I've had the opportunity over the years to spend some time with some of these men and women, and that's a huge piece of what they do. This isn't about just making a good money during the summertime, although that's there too, for some of them. But it's about being of service. It's about learning how fire works and how we can control, and extinguish, and find a new way to express, but more importantly, being of service. And that's what happens. Being of service is part of the lesson of practicing the presence of God. That omnipresence, practicing it is being of service. The other piece to that as an individual is begin to praise. Give praise and thanksgiving when things show up in your life. As an example, how many of you noticed, if you're new here, you didn't, but if you noticed that there's real new paint on the walls? And for that we can say thank you to Loretta and to Linda Jolman and to Lamont, who's not here this morning, for the new paint that was on the wall. It's been blank for a while. Now it's there. And blessed be, Rob didn't have to do it. Just saying. Painting is not my forte. Allowing others to express themselves is part of what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to ask as well. And then when someone says, I will, say fine, then follow up on that. And allow you to be of service in whatever way that looks like. And sometimes it's really, really simple. Try this one on. I'm going to do a quick survey. How many of you brought dessert today? Bless you, bless you, bless you. Saying it in advance. Oh yeah, potluck today, right? Why am I doing that? They're being of service to me and to you. How many of you plan to stay for potluck? Yay! Bless you, bless you, bless you. Why? Because your presence blesses me and everyone else as well. We have the opportunity to learn to know one another. That's part of practicing the presence. That's part of looking past the appearance and getting right to the heart, if you will, of each and every one of God's children. We find out amazing things about each other that we might not have known. It gets to be kind of fun when you make it that way. Learn to listen, not just to the words that are being said, but to what's behind them. Sometimes you can be of service just to allow somebody to express what's going on in their world right now. I was in line for potluck not too long ago. And I said to the person in front of me who's not here today, how's your day going for me? And she turned to me and she smiled and she said, yeah, you want the standard answer or the truth? I said, well, let's start with the standard answer. She said, I'm feeling just wonderful. I said, okay, now it's time for the truth. And we sat down and had a discussion because there were things going on in her life that she just needed to air a little bit, just to bring out. So we spent just a few minutes. And she reminded me that that's what we all do when we're open, is just allow ourselves to reach out, to practice the presence, through me, from me, to be open to someone else, to love them enough to listen without judgment, just as Jesus did. And from that place, then, go have lunch. See, it's not a big thing, but it is to the individual that you provided a window. And vice versa. This way, as you do this, you know that that will come back to you as well. So that when you have a need, you know that need will be met when I practice the presence. Now, I can step out of it a little bit. That's okay, because I'll get back. Sometimes I step out because I forget this. In my world, each and every one of God's children, regardless of the appearance, I can hold them in my thoughts and in my feelings, and from myself, the center of me, the truth of me, say, I love you. Hold your world picture, got it? To that picture, I love you. Together, I love you. To that world picture, I bless you. Together, I bless you. Breathe. To that world picture, I appreciate you. Together, I appreciate you. Breathe. And now open up. Wide open. In this moment, to all God's children, including this one, I say, I behold the Christ. Together, I behold the Christ. In that moment, you're affirming, acknowledging, and demonstrating omnipresence.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.